Anyway, before we start to explain, I need to, like usual, we have to decide whether I need to speak Chinese or I have to speak English. Okay. 简单说就是还没有开始之前哈，一般在这个，因为我们的学员队有的是只有懂中文的，有的学员是只有懂英文的，哈，所以我们还是要我先考虑一下，主要的我还是要讲英文还是讲中文，哈。OK， 这边只有会听中文的可以举手吗？哦，全部都会听英文，啊，那就有讲英文了。OK， 这么说好了。Forgive me, I just asked because whether I need, I ask anyone here just understand Chinese. 怎么应该这么问？这边有谁不会听英文的 ？OK， 好吧，那这个在这里有没有人需要？虽然你的这个中文，这个英文还不错，但是还是有时候需要一个翻译机，就是海来法师需要翻译的，有吗？ OK， 还是有一些好 OK， 但是基本上你们都会听英文就是 OK， 那这样就先把那个翻译机拿，那我就讲英文了。如果是这样 OK， 好，你们先举一个手，他知道谁，就是至少你有时候你觉得你要听听一听翻译的话。 Yeah, those who, I mean, then I would decide to speak English rather than Chinese, but I still want to know. 你们虽然会听中文，但是如果需要，有时候想要用翻译机的话，你可以举个手，没关系，明天再决定也可以。好，暂时是这样。好。All right. First of all, for those who've been here for quite some time, so maybe at least once, welcome, and really nice to see you during the Thanksgiving Day. I think that that will be one of the best way to spend your Thanksgiving Day. Maybe we don't have a feast like usual, you know, that you might have a turkey. But those poor turkey, at least I don't know how many participants here say about we have 50, over 50, and then at least I'm sure that during these days the turkey may be very thankful about you not, you know, taking their life to celebrate this. Anyway, another thing is about, of course, for the people who might be new to here, and then also it would be great to see you that to come to join this retreat. I'd like to say a few things about this retreat before I'm explaining something maybe for all students, those who've been here, and they might be familiar with what I'm going to talk about, the posture and so on. But maybe I will try to add something more, add some spice there. Otherwise, you'll feel very boring, you know, listen this again and again. But anyway, since I speak this, come to this point, but I also like to encourage, sometimes the thing, even though repeat again, but you always learn something that from, you know, people repeat the statement again. But if you would like to learn, if you can, you know, learn something from it, it's just like we learn the Buddhist text, at least that's my own experience, when we read the Buddhist text again and again. But sometimes I thought, oh, I know the text well. And actually, I still think so sometimes. But I cannot neglect or I cannot deny that once I read the text again, I always find something new and something very useful for me, either for my practice or for my understanding the Buddhist message, the Buddha's message. Okay. And for those who are the new students, I guess, anyway, so welcome. What I want to say is that this time, my teachings in this for Sublime Abiding meditation, especially for people who've been attended this meditation retreat before, might find it a little different. Not, I need to say that in beforehand. When I say it different, it's not that I'm going to change the whole thing, but the difference is only the emphasis, okay? So I try this retreat, since this is a Thanksgiving and also the end of the year, and then maybe the next retreat, it will be, unless you really go other places, but then the next retreat will be maybe, I don't know when, or maybe in May or maybe not, So I think that will be in this retreat, I'm not going to, like in the past, so that try to kind of like cover up every exercise for you to do. But rather, I would like you, to focus on a particular concentration. In other words, if people able to maintain their meditation in a good way, and if even the good way that they could meditate up to what we call the jhana, or in Chinese called chana, or the samadhi or samadhi, okay? And then I will really push on that part, rather than just like you learn kind of like every style of this technique, okay? So I just want to say that beforehand. So you might be come across, I have a different emphasis, but you might have question about that. Of course, then I want to say beforehand, when you have question, then you say, why before you would ask me not to stay there for long, but this time you ask me to stay this kind of state for longer, then at least I will just say beforehand, because for the different purpose, okay? Get it now? Okay. All right. I usually like, it's very quiet. It's good to be quiet, but I think this is the first day, and I like to ask a certain question first. Can I pick at least one person from the male, and then one person from the female? Okay, that means the left side and right side, that's how they arrange here. And I will start from, nowadays change, I have to start from the right side. Okay, anyone is the this is the first time they come to join this retreat? Okay, wow, quite a lot. Who want to volunteer to say why you want to come for this retreat? You could speak Chinese, or if you want to, or in English, certainly. Yes?
So, return from Chicago to here. Countess, my mother, she is 9 years old, almost 10, and we were introduced by a frequent comer. Her name is E.T. So, we just want to learn from you, and we know this is a very good way to practice. It's a new tool for me. We learned that from down the mountain multiple times with different kind of practices, but this is still new and we want to learn that.
So you mean that actually you did, because I couldn't hear all the word, but do you mean you also learned some other meditation method before?
I learned all kinds of meditation methods, but for this one, it's pretty new to us.
Okay.
So I learned, my Plato and other kind of things.
Okay.
And also learned the silent illumination, and also the
Silent?
silent illumination. 落照.
Oh, I see. Okay. Silent illumination. All right. Okay.
And different kind of Vipassana.
Okay. Right.
And also learned the Vipassana, which was the first introduction from Shimama last year in Chicago.
Oh, I see. Oh, you attended her meditation in Chicago. All right. But I went there also to give, I think, 2 days, but you didn't turn up that time, right?
I stayed there for almost 2 days.
I see. So,
He was really interested in the church, so we don't have a chance to really stay there for a few days.
Do they still run the meditation there now?
What's that?
In the church, do they still run the meditation there?
Run meditation?
Do they have a meditation? Do they still have meditation there in the church?
No, not really. We just borrowed the place from.
Yeah, I know that. I've been there. I went there too.
Some group of Western practitioners. And they sometimes go to the church to practice, sometimes just find another place.
I see. So they do change places too, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's actually a local practice group over there.
Okay, okay. All right, thank you. Yeah. So in other words, you want to explore the new method to you. Yeah. What about here? Anyone volunteer? The newcomer? First time here? You could say it's okay. Yeah.
So I guess I was practice meditation myself, and then for a couple of years, and then I ended up going to a couple of meditation centers in where I live. So I ended up eventually in a Tibetan place. So I basically practiced the Tibetan methods. But one very important foundation in the Tibetan meditation is called the 40 measurables meditation, and it serves as like a foundation for starting on the Buddhist path.
Yeah, that's especially based on the text, the bodhicitta avadara. I don't know how to say it. The awakened bodhicitta, the bodhicitta avadara, the awaken, yeah, about the citta, the bodhicitta, yeah.
So that part is a very important step in my preparation practice. So and then on the other hand, I was very curious about all the other types, all the other sectors of Buddhism, and plus that I don't have anything to do during the Thanksgiving.
I see.
So
Well, lots of people actually telling me that they couldn't make it on this Thanksgiving Day because really important day for American, and then they have to stay with the families. But certainly there are also other people that, like you said, so you have time during the Thanksgiving time that because you don't have to work at least. Yeah. Okay, I think you want to say also. Can you? Yeah, something.
So much for standing here. One of the reasons why I come here is to get myself more to the stress, develop myself, a state of mind, to focus more, and to develop happiness too, self-control.
Okay, all right. So it's kind of like you're thinking that I hope this retreat will help you to, for your emotional aspect at least, and then also for your focus, you could develop that in a better way. Okay. What about the female side for those who've been here before, and why you're thinking you want to join the retreat again? Yeah, you want to say? Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yes, I had very beautiful experiences before in the retreats, and so I feel that there has been a transformation, sort of transformation, and I want to continue that development.
I see. Sure.
And I also wanted to introduce my daughter.
I think so. I was about to ask, is she your daughter? Yeah. Did I meet you once, did I? I think briefly I met you, right? Yeah. She's as beautiful as you. Huh? Okay. All right, thank you. What about the male side? Anyone want to express why you wouldn't, besides that you're free, of course, and why you want to join the retreat again? It's okay, even you say something negative, I would like to hear too.
I mean, it's a nice patient. You just hear, eat, sleep, drink. What else can you ask for?
Anyone beside this point is really well, anyone? Yeah. What about you? Do you want to say anything? No? Yeah. Oh, you case, or both of you, whatever, yeah.
I'm just back because I feel more relaxed after meditating. And I don't usually meditate when I'm back in my normal life. And
You mean you don't, you mean not at all, almost like none?
yeah, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
So I think that I
Oh, wow, that's quick, within a week, okay.
It's busy life, I guess. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very refreshing, and I use this time to, like I said, to remind myself. And so I try to come here for these retreats as well.
I say, okay, right. San Diego, you want to say something?
I was pretty much in the same line as the brother right here.
Mm.
To me, it's real soothing and relaxing.
Mm.
And I meditate back home, but not as often.
Mm.
So every time I come up here, I experience a real big cleansing, a peace of mind.
Mm. I see. Michael, you want to say something?
Yeah. I think for me, the four sublime abidings are a foundation for practice, especially in the world that is going on the subway, going to teach, going to school. For everything in the world, it's a foundation for practice for me.
Okay, good. It looks like I'm not very fair because there were 3 males saying that. Any female practitioner here before want to say something? Share their, why they want to come here? Oh, you want to say? Okay, right. Okay, sure. Are you going to express in English? I have to translate. Let me think how much you need to pay me. Anyone suggest how should I charge that?
因为我之前不是修禅定，我不太喜欢禅定。
Anyone want to volunteer to translate? Okay.
Well, she said before this, I did not focus very strongly in meditation, jhana meditation.
后来就是跟法拉法师来学四无量心，修这个禅定，我觉得有很大的转变。
And I noticed a huge transformation on my part after I learned this technique with Venerable Dhammadippa.
因为之前我觉得我自己可以感觉到这个心是属于那种比较坚硬的。
And before that, I feel like my mindset, what my heart is more hard, it's stiff, a little bit stubborn. And
然后就是在看待事情和对待人的时候，那个心是非常坚硬的。
especially when I interact with people, I tend to be a little bit hard.
后来就是我来到美国以后，然后跟法拉法师学这个四无量心以后，我慢慢体会到我的心就慢慢的好像变软。
And I noticed this after I came to the US and learned this meditation with under Venerable Dhammadippa. I noticed that when I interact with people, my heart has become softer.
而且我感觉我修四无量心以后，我觉得我可以跟更多的众生结缘。
And I can also see that after studying this method for immeasurable mind, I can create positive connection with all the beings.
所以现在我修这个禅定，跟我之前学的，我觉得他们是相辅助的。
And so this method and what I learned before, I feel like both of them complement each other.
所以在每次禅修的时候，我都非常的欢喜。
So in each retreat, I always feel very happy.
谢谢大家。
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, now we still have an hour. Okay, now so after all this, actually, it's very important also to hear why people are coming here. Either they are new to here, or either they've been in practice just before. I recently actually read one of the article. It's interesting is about people practice this. I don't know what method, but they also say that they practice like a loving kindness meditation. And a person write this article for his PhD. And then he has to just only interview about 5 or 6 persons. And then some might be practice meditation about 10 years ago, but some might be just new, like they just started practice this for half a year. So, and based on that, of course, also with his understanding or his knowledge of philosophy, especially the psychology, So and he write their thesis. Oh, I mean, depends on how you look at it, but I just thought, fine. But I want to say is, and that article, I think the thesis maybe just get it a few years ago, okay? So it looks like in America, at least also even for the academic aspect, people are, this is not only just on the article, actually there were a few of them, but I want to say this particularly, one that it seems like people are really not only just based on what the Buddhist texts say, and nowadays not only just because they hear people say, but they do have this kind of interview from when after learning this, like this kind of meditation, what impact them, you know. And of course, I don't really know because I'm not doing this research. At least from that conclusion of what they interview the people, they always have the positive impact to their life. Okay, and I've been teaching this technique for some years already, and of course, and I myself, because there are some people also while they're practicing, they might be tell me about the problem they have and the difficulty they have. But I also actually witness a lot of positive side. But here, I don't mean that, I don't know whether there's a negative side, at least nobody tell me yet, Perhaps there is, and nobody wanted to share that to me. So I'm not here to claim that when you learn meditation, then you will only have a positive side. But they might have a negative side for an individual. It could be. But sometimes in Buddhist understanding, if there's any that negative side, it could be, might be the way that how you relate to things. It could be not necessarily, it should, in other words, you could say that it's incorrect way to look at it also. I don't know, okay? As I say, I have never heard anybody so far tell me that after they do this kind of retreat, and when they go back home, or even during the retreat, they definitely is quite all right. So when they go back home, whether there's any negative thing, at least they believe there's some negative side of it, will affect them, But if there's really something like this, but don't try to invent it. But I mean, if you really have that, they will be also grateful to hear why and how that will be, because that will be always helpful to improve. Sometimes it's the way we direct you to look at it also. So that will be might be helpful too. Okay. In other words, anyway, so I'm sure that people good that today the people to share why they are coming over here. Looks like it's almost cover what I thought that would be. Like some people find it very useful from many ways, and some people find, like the nuns just mentioned, that will soften their mind, which is very hard. And I always also in the past always try to tell the people, it is not only that problem that happened to you maybe, or I mean you in the world, there are lots of people, but even including me, I've been learning Buddhism long ago, but then also I have all my stereotype also what a Buddhism should be, or what a monk should be. And that is actually, it has to also go, for me, it takes a long time for me to break through my own barrier. In other words, maybe the word is say stifle. Because when you have this kind of image, maybe I'm going to address that in the next few days when I talk about Buddhism. So the image, of course, in psychology, you could say called a paradigm scenario, okay? And this kind of image always actually become almost like your reference of your life, or kind of like a back. If it's a positive side, you could say it's a reference of your life. But as a negative side, it could be like kind of ghost, just behind you. That's how those kind of ghosts just behind you, it could fear you. And also sometimes if in the positive side, you could always think it become a positive reference to you. But sometimes the positive reference to you also, for those who are adult here, understand that too. Those who are positive reference to you, sometimes not necessarily always positive reference to you, right? So especially when you become addicted to it, you believe it so strong. So this is how you form a kind of stifled mind. Your mind becomes very hard because you have kind of image about, like for example, when I be a monk, and then you always think that the monk should be what? In earlier time, we always thought the monk should be the one, a monk should be the one that you have to pull your face, showing that you're really superior. Not that you want to be superior. Ethically, you learn that you don't have to be superior, but in the nature, so you still want the people hope to look you as more superior than inferior, right? When we have this kind of extreme thought, either you want to stay aside in a position of superiority or in a position of inferiority, but you always, you have to stand one side. If you don't know how the middle path is, that means beyond, avoid the two, beyond these two. But you still, and this is how I also learn a lot, and I try to learn like emptiness teachings and all sort of things, of course, 2 different types of meditation. But I still find that somehow my mind is very hard. And how I'm going to address that in the teachings, but I want to say it's also through this kind of method. I myself find I become much more approachable, But in nature, that wrong word is nature. But if you ask my character, actually I knew since I was young until now, I'm not very easy to approach. If the people want to look for me, sometimes when I'm in a bad mood, or sometimes when I'm not in a very loving kind of mind, I'm still, I still be kind of like that. So when people want to approach me, I would say, "What do you want to look for me for? For what?" Okay. Ultimately, what I want to say is that actually it's also through this kind of method, so I become much more friendly. And this kind of friendly is nothing fake. It's not like I want to gain anything and I want to pretend anything. Actually, that is the real of you. And in the past, and I pretend a lot, to pretend to be a big monk, a high monk, an educated monk, I want to say this means before I really take this method seriously. So now you can live by your own. So you don't mind what the people look at you. I mean, if they think that you are not big enough, you are not serious enough, you are not solemn, you are not very heavy enough, you don't show you are like a big boss enough, then that is their question. But because I could live much more freely, and that's more important. And of course, because of that, and I also start to see another pictures that is not that I could live more freely, it's also I could live more independently. And also, actually, you always see that is always a good thing to do. Because, and this is how you start to learn to be honest to yourself, basically. This is, I also find this one, since everyone to share their experience, this is one of the experience. Just for the sake of the life, you will see whether that's true. And if you practice, at least try to work harder, and then you will find the transformation will just grow within yourself. It's not what you want to change it. It is also not what you're trying to pretend it. No, it just by itself, it just transforms in such a way. Okay. Now let me back to this. Method first. The sitting posture. We have cushion here. I always say that, of course, nowadays, it's very hard. You do meditation without a cushion. Cushion, okay? Cushion, I think. Become cushion, okay. Cushion. And, but I also always remind people, actually, when we start meditation, there was almost like 28 years ago or 29 years ago. When we do meditation, we don't have this kind of cushion, okay? In China, yes, you always might have long history, but not in other country. I know that even not in the Tibetan in the earlier time. So we only learn to sit on flat, floor. But anyway, I don't mean that you don't. But certainly also there's some research recently and say that, recently mean that in this modern time, thinking that using a cushion might help you to balance the body much better, okay? So, and that is also looks true. It seems true. So firstly, you have a cushion, and then if you find the cushion is not really high enough for you, you can have 2 cushions, okay? So let me know this first. Now, how do you know whether it is enough or not enough? Because usually this is just a simple way to judge it. It's not the ultimate, but it's just like a guideline. Is if you sit on the floor like here, and if you find that your knee is above your navel, that usually means you maybe need more cushion, you will sit more comfortably. Okay. You're in between, I don't know. You just try yourself. So what I want to say is the best thing is that you just try yourself whether you need one cushion or two cushions. The most important is not about how many cushions you're sitting. Even you want to sit 10 cushions, I don't think it works because it falls easily. But if you if you use 10, you definitely have more worry. The important is that you could sit comfortable and then you feel stable also. Okay, not just comfortable, but you feel like always it's going to fall. It's going to fall. So that kind of worry will disturb your meditation. Okay, all right. Now that's the first thing. The second is about the posture. If you normally in tradition, especially in those days in India, because American people are not used to sit on the floor. But if you are Japanese, even now Japanese don't. But basically, in certain cultures, they maybe get used to sit on the floor, so they can accustom themselves to sit on the floor easily. And then that's why in the old days, they also kind of like invented, they kind of know that the best way to sit more stable when you do meditation, you do the cross leg. Okay. Anyone here sitting here would like to do the cross leg? Okay. I think maybe not. So I'm not going to explain. Oh, yeah, yes, okay. So if you want to do the cross leg, okay, I just want to say you fold one leg up and then you fold another leg up there. But I would suggest you when you do cross leg, if you can, sometimes you need to change. Okay. Don't just sit one side of cross leg. Okay. So they say that if you're doing the cross, okay, just say the cross leg. If you want to do the cross leg, so don't just sit, try to learn it. Maybe one side is difficult than the other, but try to change it. Okay, like this time you sit there, you want to do right feet on top and the left feet on the other side, say that, and then next time you need to change. Okay. Not all the time, but you need to change. Don't just sit one cross-leg posture. Okay? This is how my suggestion, but I don't know how the other teachers or masters say, but that's just my suggestion. Otherwise, if you sit the half lotus, you know that the same thing. If you do the half lotus, I would suggest you too. If you do the half lotus, you know what I mean by half lotus, right? Anyone don't know here? If you have question, you don't understand what I'm saying, you please raise your hand. At least I know there might be something there. Then you also try to change your leg if you want to, if you can. Okay. Normally, I would say that you don't do half lotus, you don't do sitting this cross leg. You sit loosely, and then you might be just sitting. I think I don't know whether that your is called half lotus or not. I don't know. Huh? Yeah, that's true. That's why I say it's good that you just sit comfortably. Yeah, like him, he was just sit. How to say? He would just have one foot on top of other, but it's not really on the thigh, but just on top of the feet. Okay, this is one way of sitting. Another way of sitting, you could just put one foot on the front and then one foot on the back. Okay. You know what I'm saying? One foot in the front and one foot on the back. Okay. And then another way of sitting is that I could observe that people, they would just sit is like they would just cross the leg like this, kind of like they clutch it, they just cross the leg. I usually find this is very awkward to me, but of course, as I say, you be your own judge and that you feel comfortable. And especially you feel comfortable and you feel stable the most of it. Not that you feel like something wrong. Okay. Now beside this also, sometimes you could just sit knee. You could kneel. Okay. Like you worship, your knee is mean like you just. I think sometimes they call that as a Japanese posture nowadays. It means you just put 2 feet. You just knee down the 2 feet. You just knee back like this. And then even nowadays, sometimes even knee, because you have a lot of pressure, your feet, your butts, right, is pressed on your feet. You feel it's a little difficult. You could also use a cushion. and just sit in between. So that is also. Now, today I don't see anybody bring this. Even now they have in the shop, they do show something like you could almost like sit in a posture like you're riding a horse, okay? So they have a kind of thing. Some people, they bring themselves, but this time I didn't see anyone bring it. So, and then that is also one of the, just like you actually you are sitting on a stool, like a stool. No, you're sitting on a stool. That is also one, but I always say that maybe best not to thinking that I should be only one, but the best you have to learn that you could, yes, maybe sometimes you want to sit longer, you want to find something to, you could sit longer, the posture you sit longer. Otherwise, sometimes you should try everything, okay? You should try everything because sitting is one of a big thing. You might not aware, but you have to think about how many times you sit in a day. Then you will know it's actually a big thing too. All right, and also if you like, sometimes some people do sitting is really, really pain, and then you feel that some people feel comfortable. You could just put one leg behind, okay, like you're sitting. So you can put one leg behind, and then you put another leg behind, or you could put both legs behind, which is very difficult. But I know a lot of younger, like the children, especially the girl, are aware that they always sit like that's okay. And ultimately, if you find you couldn't do it, so you put the two legs on the front, okay, or even one leg on the front like this. But you always maybe have to hold it because otherwise you feel it very weak here. So you have a way to hold it, you know. So, or maybe you just leave it this way, but you just kind of maintain it like stable. And really, really, you couldn't make it, and then you put two legs in this way. But in tradition, you don't point your finger to the Buddha, so you don't stretch your leg in such a way, okay? But of course, I mean, you don't just, I want to point my finger to the Buddha. That's in tradition. In a certain culture, actually, they feel this really absurd, so, so please don't do that, okay? Oh, also, we have a bench just behind you. If you find that you want to sit on the bench also, please help yourself, okay? Now, if you sit on a bench, you might be cross your leg, you might not, but if you want to put your feet on the ground, try to put your feet on the ground really like what we call sitting like a lion, okay? It means the 2 feet have to be quite goodly, firmly, like step on the ground, okay? Or pace, kind of like pace on the ground, okay? Huh? Anchor to the ground, okay. I don't know that term, yeah, okay. So, that's how the sitting. Anyone have a question, the sitting posture? Yes?
Yes, in Buddhist, people understand the philosophy, let's say,
You mean 丹田啊? No, that's what I say is, if you look at the statue, I mean, but that's, it just, sometimes they just, usually I think, I don't know, I remember it would be the right one on the left if you do the half lotus. But that's a statue, but in terms of the body structure, this is why if you always sit just on one side, it is said that your vertebrae might be going to, when you look at the body, if you just only sit this way, so your vertebrae here, it would change, because you want to accustom your muscle. That's the reason why you need to, sometimes when you sit the half lotus one side, you need to learn the other side too. That would be better. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did say that you should change it also if you can. All right. But the meditation, the most important about meditation is your mind, it's not the posture. Okay. That maybe will help you to, so. Otherwise, then the children or anybody, you just ask them to sit like the posture is correct, then they become a Buddha already. Mm-hmm. What qualifies someone be a Buddha or be a powerful meditator is the mind, not the posture. 托。没有，从佛像来看，就是在右腿，我没有记错是右腿在上面，左腿在上面。但是那只是佛像。我说我们在禅修的时候，我都可以啊。就是说你不管是左腿或者右腿，你如果用一个腿，我的建议是你要换，这样子。All right, that's just the sitting, and then beside the sittings, and then now how you can sit your body upright. Usually we start to talk on the 7 important, what we call the 7 position, and then you need to aware. So in Chinese it's called 七支坐法. And then the 7 position is the first. I like to talk actually from the down to top. Okay, that's much easier. So firstly, certainly traditionally, if you want to sit full lotus, and you do the full lotus. And then after, when you adjust yourself sitting, you could, like the full lotus or in half lotus of the loose way sitting. And then now you need to adjust your body, how to sit upright. So maybe normally we tend to be this way. So, and some people try to sit upright, they were just trying to do this way. That might be help, but you find something not quite there. So now you can try to sit upright. Actually, simple way, or what the traditional way of teaching is that you need to tuck in your belly. To tuck in, either you use exhalation or inhalation, then you could tuck in your belly. So once you tuck in belly, not only that, there's something also you need to do is that you need to try to pull your anus. Or you could say that, I don't know, so the language, anyway, you just have to usually the male, they do the urination. I don't know the female, how they do urination anyway. I couldn't know about that. But when the male, they do the urination, somehow, you have to pee. So that's how you pull the lower part, and also tuck in your belly and relax. This is how you can sit upright. Try that and see. You have questions? Yes. All right. Huh? 我觉得这样海乐士你要不要翻译啊？你有翻译机吗？对，你就可以开着翻译机，它会翻译好了。Okay. Is that much to do with my pronunciation? Okay, all right. But anyway, at least somebody requested me to speak in Chinese. I would just say, 就是说你要收腹哈，但是不管你用吸气的方式还是吐气的方式，就是把腹要先收。同时呢，你不能做同时没关系，但是就一个一个来。但你如果可以的话，就同时做。在你收腹的时候呢，就是我们中文叫提肛，哈，提肛就是提我们的肛门嘛，哈。所以所谓提肛门就是你要把它就是拉上来就是。然后接下来你就放松，那就身体就会坐直了。Okay, then any question? No. Okay. Now, and the third one is about our hands, because they have sometimes may have some direct relation to your sitting posture. That's how you put your palms. Okay, how you lay your palms. You could lay your palms like one lap over another. But traditionally, if you are sitting like a half lotus, for example, that your left feet is on top of the right feet, then you will lay your palm. In other words, it's very simple to understand. This is my way of remember. Is that the top of the palm is always in the opposite proportion. So why? Because when you sit in the half lotus, you have this side have a curve here. So your palm lay here. If you put it this way, you feel this awkward because it's stuck there. Okay. So if you lay this palm on the left, let's say this, I'm doing say the half lotus now, maybe easier to demonstrate it. Say that I'm doing half lotus this side. So if I do the half loaded this side, so, and if I lay my palm this way, this is stuck here. So it's much easier, my right feet, like my right palms first, and then my left palms on top of it. So you feel there's a proportion. You get it now? So it's kind of like you feel your balance, okay? The same thing if you do the full lotus. So some people don't know. When they do full lotus, what they have to do. Say that if you do the full lotus. So, because if you do full lotus, you want to rest your palm. If you put it this way, you also feel awkward. The same thing, the last feet, which feet is on top of your lap, though it has to be in that proportion, okay? Get it now? But when you are nothing to do with this, so whatever. So, okay. And then this is one of the sitting posture. That's how you lay you put your palms, okay? You lay your palm, all right. And you also can cup your hands also on your laps. You also can cup your hands on your knees. But usually, depends on people's situation in general. But I don't suggest people cup their hand on the knees because normally if you do this way, you will find you will tend to be sitting this way. So you will tilt front. But I don't mean that it works for everybody. I mean just generally, okay? Okay. Now, as far as you feel comfortable, that's very important. And second, how you know that you feel comfortable is if you find that how you cup your hands or rest your palms on your laps or on your feet or on any places, you will find that as far as you see these elbows drops, that should be okay. Now, that's why in the Buddhist text, sometimes mention that I'm talking about Buddhist texts that the Chinese, especially in the Chinese, that the certain Greek master during the 7th century, they mentioned that the best of the posture, the resting the palm, it will be close into your body. It means because you see, if you put your hands, your palms, anyway, your arms, your palms are close to your body, you always find that your elbows drops. Okay. Right? If you keep it this way, you'll find your elbows is stiff. Okay. But if you let your palms close to your body, you feel that your elbows drops. But technically, we use the term mean the best thing to do is not only just to rest your palm, but you have to let your elbows drops. Okay. That's the main point. Get it now. Now, after this also, you also have to aware your shoulder. Because even though we let our elbows drop, especially when we always get tense in our life, your shoulder is still stiff, still like that. You lift it. Okay. So now this is a time when you do meditation, you have to let your shoulder really drops. Maybe you feel uneasy. So at first, you're uneasy because your neck if you always get tense, that your shoulder will lift. So you need to let it drop. So shoulder drops. And also, not only just let your shoulder drops, you need to open your chest. Okay? Okay. I think everyone is doing okay. Okay. When I say this, I mean because some people maybe sit like this. Okay. Don't do this. You have to open your chest and let your shoulder drops. No question, okay? Now, then move up. This is done. Your shoulder drops, very important. Your elbows drops is also very important. Now, about your neck. Now, how you keep your neck not like this? You know, sometimes you may do, okay, but for the posture's sake, how you keep your neck not to meditate like this? The way to do this is you need to tuck your chin and pull back. So tuck your chin and pull back. But actually, because when I start meditation, I never learned this before. That's why I still sometimes tend to be this way. Because for a long time, it become a habit already. But anyway, if you learn it earlier time, so you would not do this. So you tuck your chin, pull it back. Sometimes you might be lean back a little bit. And then this is how you can sit more upright, okay? This is how you not to this kind of the scalp basically not give the pressure on your neck. Okay. So you just tuck your chin a little bit and pull back. Okay. It may be at first feel a little bit stiff. in artificial, but then you would get, after some time of meditation, it would loosen up. Okay? So you could sit more comfortably. Now, other thing is when you do meditation, unless you really get, also be careful the weather is quite cold. Be careful, the weather is quite cold here, so when you go out, to be careful. And unless you really get, your nose a little stuffed, otherwise you always close your mouth when you meditate. But of course, sometimes you cannot breathe, and then you need to open your mouth. That's another thing. I mean, I'm talking about when people, let's say, they got a little stuck on your nose. And close your mouth, and then when you begin to meditate, lightly clench your teeth. Okay, the teeth have to be close up, but lightly, don't push. Just very gently close your mouth, clench your teeth. And especially if you want to sit longer, I'm talking about especially the beginner, and then you could keep your tongue pressed against your palate, or you could just place your tongue, the tip of your tongue, just behind your upper teeth. Okay. So people who learn meditation, they know if you are, usually it's very interesting, this is how the physical reaction is about. When someone, if they meditate, they could stay what we call the jhana state, or the samadhi state, a stronger one. Somehow your tongue will automatically will just press the tongue against the palate or just rest behind the teeth. Okay? Because it's just a way to maintain your throat not dry out. Okay? Because if you press the tongue against the palate or press the tips of the tongue behind the upper teeth, you find it usually generates saliva. And the saliva will help you to wet your throat. Okay? But somebody, at first, they feel it's very bothered because too much saliva, always learn how to swallow it and swallow it. So if that happens to you, so you rest your tongue. Okay. Now, the last thing is just keep your head upright. And I was trying not to be sit this way because then you might be easy tends to be fall asleep. Okay. Just keep it more upright. All right, that's the sitting posture. Any question? Or someone should remind me to say about walking. But anyway, see whether your question first. Yeah. 我可以有点水吗？是谁负责？ Yes.
Is it okay to keep the hat on while you're here?
You mean to have a hat? Yeah, if you feel cold, yeah, sure. It just for the ethical, for the Buddhist, what do you call, etiquette. Just to let you know, it doesn't mean that we know that we're in America, but still you have to aware this. When you worship the Buddha, it's a tradition. Just now, even I forget. So you have to take your hat off. Okay. Just to let you know. But I'm sure people know that you might be forget about it. But just let you know, don't be surprised one day you go other place, people say, you need to put your hat off. Worship Buddha. It just become an etiquette in the Buddhist tradition. Okay. Yeah. Any other question for sitting? Really no? Yes.
So when I put my hand up front, I notice my arm has to bend pretty significantly. Should I hold it like a chicken wing-ish?
No, you could, but you don't. But your palm still had to rest on some place.
Yeah. So once it's rested here, where should my arm?
No, actually you're doing okay now.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you feel your whole arm can relax in this way?
I feel awkward because I feel my arm has to bend a lot because I'm kind
Yeah.
of used to putting on my.
But if you find that really work for you better, then you just sit the way that you feel better. I just suggest that this is because that's the way you feel your whole arms can relax very well. But if you want to keep it this way, but because sometimes you do need to keep this way also because you feel a kind of strong determination over, and you do so. There's no restrictions that you couldn't do it. It's just a simple guidance. Yeah.
I'll definitely try.
But if you find that this is a way you could sit more comfortable, you feel more confident, then of course then do the way, that you could rest your arm in such a way. Yeah, okay, yes.
I have difficulty crossing legs, so if I sit in, this way, feel more comfortable.
Yes, this is what I think sometimes they call this, I don't know why they have a name they call it a Burmese style sitting. Yes, that means you put 1 foot behind, or yes, left and right. That's why I just mentioned that's also one way of sitting too. I think one I forget to mention is that you could do this butterfly sitting too, right? That means your 2 feet claps together. You know the butterfly? No? It's like you just keep these 2 feet sitting in this way. So sometimes I do that. If I do meditation myself. Yeah. So. Okay. Any other questions? Yes. Oh, that's good. I forgot to mention. I mean, definitely there's a lot of purpose. Sometimes some teachings teaches you to, when you meditate, you open your eyes. And some they say no. But our way of learning, best not to open the eyes, just close the eyes, because then so that you have less distraction. But there's exception. I'm not talking exception now. But to start with, always just close your eyes. The exception, one of the exceptions is unless you really, all the time you feel drowsy, and then you need to open the eye a little bit, and so that you could feel the light comes, so that it could not irritate, kind of like inside to your eyes, iris, so that you feel awake. Yeah. Any other? You fall asleep now? All right. We have time. Do I should give you a little rest and come back to talk something else? This is no? What did this mean? Keep on, okay. I don't even lift up. Okay. You know that when you look at our schedule, so in the mornings, we have 6:30 to 7. Oh no, that's breakfast, sorry. Maybe I'm hungry now, so just look at that. And then that's 8:15 to 11:20 is almost about 3 hours, okay? About 3 hours. So we have this meditation and instruction. So please don't scare. Please don't be worried about this, because you're not going to sit for 3 hours. If you can, of course, you're very welcome. Now, and also, I might forget, but since I remember, I like to stay thinking that do not always think that because you could sit longer, you definitely are better in meditation, okay? But also, I'm not going to deny that if you could sit longer, you're supposed to be much easier to do meditation than you don't sit longer. But that doesn't apply the principle all the time, you know. Hello? Okay. I usually like to say this to have in comparable, I would say, as a simile to when people do study. It's true in general way of understanding, if you could sit there and just study your subject, if you could sit longer, you're supposed to be absorb the subject better than you don't, right? But but that is not true also, right? Am I right? Because you could just sit there, but you don't have the right way to learning, or you just sit there, actually your mind was thinking something else all the time. So, but even though you could sit there for 3 hours, you might didn't learn anything, okay? Get it now? So sometimes, that's very important, because in my experience, especially in Taiwan, once I conduct this meditation, and then I told them that, I didn't explain this way, I just tell them, you may have to stand up sometime to do walking meditation. And there was one guy who know me quite well also. I'm sure he's not the only one. I'm sure, because I could see it. But he tell me that, he told me this method is good, but I really feel a lot of pain. Why? Because I have to sit there for a few hours, not moving. And I don't have that in practice. But I say, if you feel pain, I told you already, if you feel uncomfortable, you could just stand up and do walking meditation. And his answer is, he said, if I do walking meditation, it means I'm a loser. Okay? And he doesn't want to do walking meditation. Then I say, but I didn't say that. Basically, but I also said you should do walking meditation. I encourage people, you should do walking meditation. I could see you, couldn't sit there because he was really suffer. The first day is fine. The second day he had to move all the time. Every 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, he move. But he have such great determination, he really never do a walking meditation. He could sit moving all the time for 2 or 3 hours. Then I asked him, why? Anyway, and then I asked him why you want to do that. He said, in particularly, he said, you arranged me to sit in the front. I had to set the example for people. That's a move. But sometimes it is encouraging, okay, if you learn that, okay, be not too lazy, and then sometimes I don't feel comfortable, but I still stick to, try to go away a little bit. That is good spirit, okay? But please, you have to do walking meditation, okay? Now, in these 3 hours time, if you find that you want to do walking meditation, please slowly stand up and do your walking meditation, okay? Now, I'm going to demonstrate the walking meditation, and then I'm going to talk another 2 times the posture. This is always we need to talk, what we call the idiyapada in Pali, or Sanskrit actually the same word. It means sometimes we translate as a kind of beautiful posture, because this kind of 4 type of beautiful posture, if you know how to maintain the 4 type of beautiful posture, actually it represents your whole action in your meditation, right? Now let me just demonstrate the walking meditation. When you do walking meditation, the same thing. It's always learn how to build up a kind of mindfulness or awareness. Very important. If you stand up, even though you learn the loving kindness meditation, compassion meditation, and so forth, but that time you need to abandon that. I mean, I'm talking about beginner. I don't mean that for advanced people. But for the beginner, you need to abandon that. But you are still doing meditation, don't worry. Not that, oh, now I shift my meditation. No, yes, doing. No, you have to know. First, try to aware that you know you want to stand up, okay? If you can. Idealistically, if you can, know that you want to stand up. And then now you understand. Whenever we want to stand up, say that I'm sitting this way, you cannot just stand up. You have a lot of process going on through your body actions. So firstly, you maybe start to raise your arms. If you can, then you raise your arms. You know that you're raising your arms. If you need to support, some people don't need. If you need a support, then you have to know that your hand is pressing down. You have to feel it, okay? So that you're pressing down. In every action, try to be more mindful or aware. And then now you also know after, or maybe right, or maybe simultaneously, maybe right after, that you want to move your feet. You have to know very well that you're moving your feet, okay? So let's say, because I wear the robe, so I need to not only just move my feet, I need to use the hand to hold my robe and pull back something, okay? Then I know everything that I stand up, okay? But usually, okay, I don't want to say the other one. Say the simple one. So you just know that you have to know everything. Now, I stand up already. You have to know well that you stand up. Then I want to do a walking meditation. We have in the Great Buddha hall, is it? Okay, you can do the walking meditation in the Great Buddha because the weather is quite cold. Anyway, beware that now I just stand up. So try to make less noise because the slower you are, the noise is slow. I'm sure people know when you sneak in, right? When you're a little kid, you think that you do something wrong. Not wrong. You don't want your parents to discover that you've been out or whatever. When you come back, how you do it? Right? Like you do it slowly, like that. So just keep aware. But of course, if you can, more relaxed mind, not like you really want to sneak away, okay? And now, if you know that you want to, like me, I know that I need to turn this side, so I must know that I have the mind to think that I want to turn. Then I turn, okay? Slowly, nobody rush you here, okay? So you just step down, you move your feet, you know you're moving your feet. So this is how you start. Let's say you want to go out, you just walk in that way. You maybe have your coat, then you need to wear. The same thing, when you grab the coat, you know you're holding it. Don't do it like this, okay? Nobody rush you. Everything is meditation, okay? You just If you have a chance to do slower, I don't mean only slower can meditate, but learn from a slow first, okay? Slow pace first. So grab it, you know you grab it, and put it, you know you have this, what to call, the action, your hand is bending, and then you want to put it on, like that, right? And then you want to buckle it, jib it. So if that really jib is very loud, you know it's not good to jib here, then when you go out, I don't know. So, because sometimes it could be. But anyway, if it is not, doesn't make any sound, you just slowly do it. And then now you're ready, and you go out. The same thing when you wear the shoe. But it's really too cold, certainly you need to rush yourself a little bit. What I want to say is very important to develop this awareness. Okay? Very important, very, very, very important. So walking meditation, including this, not just because this is nothing, but then I just walk, no. Including how you really do it, your motion, every motion that you need to observe well, even your thought if you can. Then once you go there, find a space that you have to go do walking meditation. Don't go circumference, don't do this way, but do the straight line, okay? And then find a space, let's say this is a space that I found, let's say in the Great Buddha Hall. So then the distance is somehow maybe from here to there, so somehow like that. And you just start to do a walking meditation. Everything actually may be best to understand first. Do you know every motion? Since you're really doing walking, you have to put more attention on your feet. Okay? You still stand up the same way, tucking your belly. Okay, so don't just walk like that. You know. So, and no, I mean, unless you really, I don't know, for whatever reason. But you have to try to walk, you know, and it's just like a sitting posture. So tuck in your belly, and then you have to let your shoulder drops, really drops. Okay, not like that. Don't do this. Okay, really drops. You maybe like to sit this way, hold your palm this way. You maybe like to just hold your arm this way. You can just on the back, or you can just put it side, up to you. But important, relax your shoulders. And then now you start to walk. First, just to learn. My eyes don't open too much. Like you look at this, look at that. No, this is how we learn. This is how we learn. This is how we habitually doing. Now you learn something that try to be just like you want to read a book. You must learn how to control yourself, not to be too distracted by the thing, because you have some important thing to do. You need to finish your paper. You need to finish a book, right? Or maybe you want to finish your text. You want to write your texting. I don't know. Or maybe you're thinking about you want to buy the stock market. I don't know. Okay. So, you know what? You know that you don't want to be distracted. So you have to learn not to open too much of the eyes. If you can, just enough for you to look in the front, that you're not going to bang on anything. Okay. So now then you start to walk. Usually, traditional belief, you start to walk on the left feet. Okay. Why? Because it's believed that the Buddha, when he starts to walk, it's always the left feet to start. I don't know why, okay? But of course, you could start with the right feet. So anyway, so when you start, you know that this feet is walking, that feet is walking. In our language, you say your left feet, your right feet. But please, don't use language, okay? Okay? You just know right there. That's what we call you live in the present moment. Right there, this feet is there. That's what you know, okay? Okay, now let's say you stand, you know you're standing. So, and then if you want to turn, as I say, I thought to demonstrate, maybe I need to demonstrate here. So this is my space of walking, and if I want to turn, I have to know I want to turn. So, let's say I want to turn back, maybe I stand here. Where should I stand? It's very difficult. Okay, anyone? It's all right. And if you have a question, I will stand here maybe. So if you want to turn, say that you want to turn this side, first you just stand like this, right? You know you want to turn 1 feet first, okay? 1 feet, step this way, get it now? And then another feet follow. Because I'm going to turn there, right? So that means don't do it this, because I want to turn here. Don't do it this way, okay? So also not do it like that, okay? No. So you just do it slowly. So firstly, this step here, 1 feet here, 1 feet there, 1 feet there, okay? So now, always like this, when you want to turn, you know that you want to turn this again. You know the thought, if you can. You should observe, you have this thought you want to turn. right side. Okay, you start to walk again. That's how you do the walking meditation. It looks very simple, but as I say, everybody knows how to walk, okay? But not everybody knows how to use the mind to observe their walking. Okay? You have to, the same thing, everybody knows how to sit. But not everybody knows when you're sitting, how to get the best of it while you're sitting. So, okay, now that's the first step. And second, if you know the walking, once you know, it's very easy for you. Just, I know very well this feet is walking. Maybe you have thought comes to you. Usually if you have thought, I would suggest you at the beginner, just stop when there's a thought. You know that you have thought. Again, if you find that you are fine, you can just focus your feet and focus your feet, okay? But don't look at your feet, just focus it. Second, you maybe hear some sound, and try not to ignore it also. When you just walk and then you hear, like you hear the sound, you also know that, there's a sound. But the easier way for you to restrain your mind, not to be disturbed, or in order to develop your awareness, is just make a note first. You know you hear. Don't be fool yourself that I don't hear. You hear it already, right? So you have to live in what we call vidya. Means you have to live in not ignorance, but live in what's the opposite term for not ignorance? Sometimes we translate vidya means they sometimes translate wisdom, so I don't know how to translate. Actually, mean you know. Vidya in the word is mean you know, you understand. So you know that your hearing is really hearing. You know hearing. But what happens if the sound still keep on coming, right? What do? Huh? Focus on? Yeah, but there's one more step, very important to remember that. That is, you still hear it, now you tell yourself, I don't want to hear it. Okay, I don't want to hear. Then you just focus your feet. And in that time, you can start to ignore the sound. Okay. There's a difference. The difference is you have to build up this kind of awareness. Now, this is the time you make a decision. The decision is I don't want to hear when the sound comes to me. I just want to focus my feet. But you need to learn to acknowledge that also. Okay. Remember that? It's very, very, very important. Okay. Sometimes you might be feel at first doing walking meditation, a lot of disturb comes to you because you walk and then you have many thoughts, and then there's sound here. People might be walking, you hear the sound, whatever this sound that, but you need to train. Basically, the walking meditation, one of the purpose is the most important purpose actually is to build up your awareness. So however much you can aware, you first have to learn and acknowledge you're aware. You get it? I don't know what is that? Is that too difficult? Yes. Of course, you mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it'll take so many times to say, okay, let's focus on that thing because the thought will come in. So how's the walking meditation, the successful walking meditation?
I think don't expect what is a successful walking meditation, because otherwise you're thinking of that. You'll be very discouraged yourself because you think that, oh, the teachers say this is a successful, but I haven't come to that yet, And the most successful walking meditation, I mean, at this stage, I would say, that you're aware of everything. That's the most successful walking meditation. Maybe you just walk and you know your thought. You just stand. I'm thinking this now, thinking your question. So, okay, still keep on my feet walking. Because you still can make a decision. You want to just thinking or you want to just walk, right? When the decision is made that you want to walk and you just aware the feet. Now I hear the sound. Then I also know that sound. I don't walk. Then I hear the sound. Then sound. And then now I hear the sound, especially after third time, because you know your purpose doing walking meditation. Okay, so you don't want that sound become your obsession. You don't want your sound to be obsessed with that. So what you have to do is that now I don't want to hear the sound. In other words, you would just want to focus. Not that you don't know the sound exists, you know, but now you determine that let your mind just on to focus your feet. And then now that from there onward, you may hear the sound still, but you ignore it and then just it could apply the same thing actually to your mind too. If you walk, at time, you feel that, but my mind still come a lot of thought, then I cannot walk. But you also could learn it that now I don't want to care about what my thought. I just still keep on walking. But what I want to say, that during that time the process is important is because you know everything happens to you. So that's what Buddhism think that is mean you are not live in the ignorance, but live in the understanding. So you understand what comes to you, okay? At least. Maybe in the future you learn understand what goes away too. But that's when you are more in powerful practice. Okay, even the feet also walking the feet. You might be knowing that you're walking. This is much simple for you already. You could just slow down to walk a little bit. And I usually suggest when you do walking meditation, maybe this is how you walk generally. I don't know, some people might be walk this way. But I would suggest you try to always, when you do walking, lift up a little bit more than you usually, okay? So don't do it this way, okay? Just a little bit, it's like, just a little lift up a little bit. My usually walking is like this, I know. So then, since my walking is always like this, so I could just lift a little bit than I usually. But that will help you more focus in a way, because at least you try a little effort on that, okay? Now, once you do that, you could slow down a little bit, and then you walk a little higher than your usual. Now, that time you need to aware that you're pushing, stepping, okay? Not just left feet and right feet, but you know your feet is, there's a lifting, pushing and stepping, lifting, pushing and stepping. In other words, mean you have to learn to be more aware of your feet action in a more subtle way, okay? Get it now? So, now, once you go out to do walking meditation, at least walk half hour, okay? But if you want, you do walk 1 hour and come back. But sometimes you really have a lot of problem in your mind sitting. It could be, because for 1 to 3 days happen to you, your mind change all the time. Then if you want to walk about 1.5 hours, then do walk 1.5 hours. But I won't suggest you walk 2 hours and 3, okay? And come back here and relax a little bit. And if you don't want to sit on the floor, and you sit on the bench, okay? All right, so I almost done everything. Oh, there are other 2 things I didn't say. But first, about walking meditation. Any questions? Yes?
Why shouldn't we walk in a circle? What's the benefit of just walking on a straight line?
I just know if you walk in a circle, maybe best, I myself thinking like this, if you walk in a straight line because you need to turn, so sometimes it's much easier for you to aware some of the, your mind and also some of the body motion much clearer. But if you walk in a circle, so I was, that might be one, yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying if you're walking in a circle, then you tend to turn your feet.
Yeah, it's very hard. And also it's, anyway, there has a lot of, at time you want to do that's fine, but it's definitely not like you really want to do walking meditation for a long time, right? Yes, yeah.
You mentioned that if the sound keep on coming, just make a decision, say I decide to ignore it. Then from there, say I still just can't ignore it. What do I do about it?
Oh, then don't ignore it first.
Okay.
I like to use a simile like, when you're treating a children. When, let's say that you have entrusted a task to look after a very naughty kid. And then the kid, you cannot look after the kid for all the time. So you want to do your own thing. And then the kid always still nagging with you. What do? If you, from the start, you nag him, you ignore the kid, this is how we generally believe that. And firstly, you learn it in ignoring because you know the kid is wanting your attention. Then you should pay attention for them first. But sometimes some kids are really, after some pay attention, but you need to let them know also. You couldn't just stay with attention to the kid because you have important thing to do, like walking meditation. So that's why you need to pay attention and then back to your work, like you're writing a thing, and then you're writing. And the kid come to nagging you again. After a few times, normally the kid knows that you are not that you don't like them. So the kid will leave you alone. He will bring, Usually the kid don't like you to do is because they feel that you don't care them. You still do your job, but no, you're still attending them, the kid. You give what they want first, pray with him a little while, say, but mom have something important, or I have something important to do. Now, after this, I'm going to work. But then kid may be nagging you a few times, and they will leave you alone.
I see.
So, but sometimes some kids are more strong in that kind of thing. Then pay more attention first and come back. And ultimately, anyway, that problem will be solved. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, yes.
For walk straight, what distance is good?
Usually not too long. I think it's somewhere from there, something like that. Yeah, maybe a little longer. Something. I mean, somewhere like that. Not like from here to there. That's too long. Okay. Yes.
So if it's cold outside, and we have to do the walking meditation inside.
I would suggest you to do the walking in the indoor. So.
Big circle, or we prefer to do it at the back or on the side?
No, I mean, the best is you go to the Greek Buddha Hall. You know the Greek Buddha Hall? No, I don't. Maybe tomorrow you can show them where is the Greek Buddha Hall. Yeah, and another building over there. Okay, right. Yeah. Oh no, here, over there. Yeah, another building over there. Yes. So usually the Greek Buddha, there's a big Buddha. So in the indoor, just go inside. Yeah.
So when we do the walking meditation, is there any preference we have? Full palm touching the ground at the same time, or any way is better. Sometimes maybe the heel touching the ground.
No, it's okay. As far as you're aware that your heel touch on the ground or your tip, maybe your toes touch on the ground first, that's fine. Yeah.
And another thing that, just like you said, some people feel if they do the walking meditation, it's like they're a loser. I personally feel if they do the repentance, it's also a very good way if there's not big space for walking meditation.
No, I think that so far, repentance, depends on what you mean the repentance. A kind of sometimes when you do meditation, even in meditation, sometimes it could come to your mind that you know that something in the past you did might be not necessarily correct, even though in those days you thought it was correct, right?
So that may increase my personal mind, any thought?
No, I want to say that I don't know whether when you say the repentance, in terms of ritual or the repentance in terms of awareness. Okay. If you're aware that something you've done in the past maybe not necessarily the best way, that is a repentance itself, right?
But it's not the typical way.
No, let me tell you one easier to say. I have met a lot of people who study the Chinese tradition, the repentance. I don't mean they're wrong, but lots of people misunderstood that. They just do it like showing off, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just prostrate and stand up and prostrate and stand up. They never really look at their heart, what's happening.
It's different. It's really slow.
No, maybe best to say this. Now, not to use those things. Okay. Maybe best to say that. So learn how to aware your mind. Okay. Basically learn more to check what happened with your mind. I think more important than anything else, at least in the retreat and meditation retreat. Okay. Yes.
I have two questions. First is Mm. Capture the mind first, then we start to move. Is that the correct way to practice?
This is my suggestion. I mean, as I say, if you first you have to, because why I ask you to stop? Maybe best to answer this. Why I ask you to stop? Because when you stop, you at least there's a kind of action showing that you really know you're thinking. Okay. Otherwise, you maybe have this bad habit. Some people could have this bad habit. They walk. I don't know what I'm doing here. So what the heck I'm here? Look at these people. Why walks like an alien? So I know what the teacher teach. Right? No, that's why I say, if you know that you're thinking, stop. I'm thinking I'm like an idiot sitting here and standing here and just taking my mind. But at least you know you're observing your mind. Okay? Just to help you that. And then sometimes when you just follow it, and then you will find it interesting. You might can focus your feet so well, but your thought comes, you stop. Now I'm thinking. Now I'm thinking. Somehow, you're able to manage it. Because the more you think about it, the very difficult to manage it. Just like as I say, a naughty kid comes to you. You just do it. There's no don't think, right? If it comes to you, just pay attention to him. Prepare to the kid. So if it goes away. And if it doesn't go away, as I say, that's what because you need to show that I'm doing walking meditation now. So that's why when the thought really comes along, sometimes you could just think, okay, I know I have thought, I just ignore it. Keep on this. Thought comes, keep on this, keep on this, keep on. That is also one way of doing it, right?
The second one is about
Okay.
the noise. So if we hear some noise, first we have to, that's what you say, that means that we should accept and try to...
It's not accept, you should acknowledge that this noise comes to you. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So there's a noise. Or you could say, I hear it. That's fine. That, in other words, you have acknowledged that something comes to you.
But if you don't want to think, oh, I hate that,
Or if you have the idea comes to you, I hate that, then you know that you're thinking, I hate that.
okay.
Okay. But you cannot just sit there and stand there and just thinking, I hate it, hey. Right? But actually, it's believed that if you're very powerful meditator, maybe you could do that. And that's another story. But in general, you don't do this. And what you have to do is that now you know that. So you just stop. I don't want to hear it. In a way, you make a determination. You just want to focus on your feet. So then you just, let's say you want to turn right side, you turn right. You turn right. And then you start to fall again. Now the noise is still there. And then you just, like normally, pretend you don't hear it already. But it looks very slight different, but actually it has a huge impact to your meditation. Okay. So, okay, any other questions? It looks like walking meditation, so many questions. Yeah. Okay. All right, and also walk freely. Don't just try to walk like a spaceman, okay, on the moon. No, just walk really how you feel comfortable to you at first. Somehow, when you meditate, you might start to learn that you want to walk slower, then walk slower. And don't also think about that. Maybe some people think it's good that some people walk slower beside you because they encourage you. But sometimes don't just do competition. Wow, he could walk that slow, I will walk slower. So if you have the idea, fine. It might come to you, okay? This so far sounds like a joke, but later you know you have this idea, then you know you have this idea, okay? But still remember, walk that you feel comfortable. That, okay? Right, that's walking. And the other two things, this is what you need to do now. One thing is that standing or like any static posture, and do standing in any static posture, you still can do your meditation. I'm going to explain it next time. But now you need to do because time is up. So it's sleeping. When you're reclining, lying there, so you try to recline if you can. Usually we believe that, but that is just a start with. I don't know how about your bed here, how the bed, I mean, whether it's comfortable enough for you. But don't think about comfortable. It's about meditation. So you also can do meditation when you're reclining, when you're lying, okay? If you lie, you could lie this way, on one side, okay? The feet, one foot on top of the other. And usually we suggest you start to lie on the right side because your heart is over here. But some people, you know, the heart is there. That's another story. But if so we ask you to lie this side because then you can, your heart, you will not get too much pressure on your heart. Okay, if you lie on the other side, it's believed that something might be give a little pressure, but it's not totally mean bad. Okay, it just maybe start with the easier way to lie on the right side. It's always believed that Buddhas only sleep and lie on the right side. Okay, and so you could lie, and then your hand could be freely put it, and then this hand sometimes they will suggest you can put it this way. Okay, so some people say that you could sleep on the hand, your palms. Sometimes you just stop. Okay, so whatever. But of course, if you find that you're lying comfortable, you're just lying. But the same thing when you're doing the lying, you still relax your whole body, and then you can start to do your meditation. Okay. Okay. Now the time is up because I don't want you for yourself don't have to sleep. Today you didn't learn any meditation. Don't complain. Okay. If you do have complaint, how to say? Any better way? Okay. Teach one better way. If you have find that you complain anything so far, just learn this. That may you be happy. May you be happy. Okay. Get it now? May you be happy. 愿你快乐，愿你快乐。Or if you find that you complain because your mind is not happy, you could say, May I be happy, may I be. 就是说，愿我快乐，愿我快乐。Okay? And then now, I still need to say this thing. Maybe people come to talk to you. Okay? You're in a meditation retreat. There were people who told me that, said that when we run meditation here, we are not strict enough. Why? Because some people talk. However, it's interesting also, some people, they complain that to me, those people, they might come to talk to you too. Okay? All right? So try not to. And we have Q&A every day. That means question and answer. So don't worry that you may not know anything. So you have the time to ask every question all the time. Okay? And if really sometime, very important thing that you need to talk to a certain person. I don't know somehow what. Try to limit your sentence into 5 sentences. That's enough really to give your message. Am I right? Anyone here object this thing? They think, no, I need 200 sentences to tell my message. No. Okay? And also, I know the last time they have this happen, so that's why I still need to say, in the dormitory, unfortunately, because our dormitory here, people will share the room together. So share the same space, not room, sorry, the same space together. So it's exposed to a lot of, people everyone have a different way of living. Basically, the main thing is be careful about the cleanness. You need to be clean, not to be make dirt of the place, so then other people feel uncomfortable. And also don't make noise, okay? All right. Maybe some people have a Chinese called 大条根, it means, I don't know, have not that sensible. But if people really give you advice, say, could you make a little noise? So you may be not happy because no one like to be told, right? Anyone like to be told? I don't know. So maybe so do remember, always say thank you, okay? You maybe at first, what the heck? But say thank you first. And then, as I say, still in your mind, say, may you be happy, may you be happy. Okay, if you're happy, it's fine. Just happy. Okay. Just do it that way first. So, and the patience is very important. Okay. Okay, I repeat again. Even when people come to talk to you, maybe you tell them, is it important? Yes, important. Just few sentences, that's fine. Okay? Only limit to 5 sentences. Okay? Get it now? And you have this special time. I don't know, maybe you live alone for a long time, I don't know. But for sure you have this special time, don't talk. This actually not using your telephone also, text message, Facebook, Instagram, I don't know, I never use that. And what else? Twitter, I never use that too. So if you don't use those things, you have to feel very happy that you could be away from that for many days, or hassle, okay? And try, unless you really have important message, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, because I know sometimes you have family, you need to tell something, do that only done, don't keep on doing something else, okay? Okay? And it was just good for your benefit, so I'm saying this not to try to control what, but just for your own meditation benefit. All right. Today we don't learn any meditation technique, or supposed to be, but tomorrow we can start. So have a good sleep. You may be fine, I couldn't sleep now, what to do? Okay, really. I don't know, some people, they have their own way of sleeping. If you find a way to go to sleep, okay? And then if you worry about the snoring, not snow, sorry, we don't snow, I hope no. But we have air plug, 对不对？那个塞耳朵的那个没有啊？ Maybe not today, but I would just ask them to try to find an air plug. So anyway, so try to go to bed early, even though you might be wake up midnight, and if you wake up midnight, or when the midnight means let's say 2 or 3 o'clock, then you can just do whatever meditation you. And if it might disturb you, come up here. Am I right? The women are staying below here. Okay, so the women is much easier. They can come here. And the man, you can go to the Greek Buddha hall. Maybe a little cold, you could just do your meditation there. It may be good if you can. 就是说麻烦你就是这边那边最好放一些坐垫，他们自己可以拿着。万一他们也没坐在那边，如果他们早上要起来，好不好？ So I would just ask her to prepare some of the sitting cushion and this thing. You might be noticed where to put it there. If you want, let's say you really couldn't, you wake up too early, you want to do meditation, you don't want to walk over here. I don't know whether they lock this door, but the women, they can come up, I know. Then you could just meditate on the Great Buddha hall. Just put more clothes on. Okay. All right, so I will see you tomorrow morning. So thank you for your, and happy Thanksgiving. Okay, so.